Hey guys, it's Brooke, and today's video is going to be a spoiler-free book review. Hey guys, it's Brooke, and today's video is going to be a spoiler-free book review of More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. And this book is for me, I feel like this book is a book best going into blind, so I'm going to try and keep this very brief and try and keep it as vague as possible. This book is about a 16-year-old named Aaron Soto who is really recovering from a tragedy that has just like shook him and his family, and it's just been really tough the past couple of months for him. So he's recovering from that with the help of his girlfriend Genevieve, and he becomes friends with this boy named Thomas, and with Thomas's help he becomes able to recognize more of who he is and discover himself and who he wants to be in life. This revelation comes with its own costs, and this book kind of explores things that may shatter the world that Aaron knows, that he learns about himself. Overall, I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It is a book for you to read if you need to get all up in your feels. I cried at multiple points in this book. It was very heartbreaking for me, and I would totally recommend it. It's very eye-opening as well. Character-wise, I really thoroughly enjoyed all the characters, and they were all made unique in their own respects. And the writing style was told from Aaron's point of view, and I really enjoy being able to get inside of his head and see his feelings, and that's also part of what makes it, you know, the most heartbreaking is the writing style. I read this book fairly quickly. It's not hard to get into at all. I would totally recommend this book if you just really need a good cry. Definitely love this book, and I'm going to check out more books by Adam Silvera, and right now I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite quotes from More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. And if you haven't read the book, you might want to leave because this has some spoilers in it. So I'm just going to say the page number and just use the quote, because most of these are pretty self-explanatory. You don't need a whole lot of context. This is from page 100. I ignite the wick and the firework takes flight. In that moment, I wish my existence were as simple as being set on fire and exploding into the sky. Okay, this made me really feel a lot of things, because to me it means that there's times where we're gonna wish that life was simple and it wasn't sucky at times and it wasn't hard, and all we had to do was just get set on fire, and that was that. You know, there was no decisions or anything that needed to be put into it, and that really spoke to me. This is page 136. But for tonight, this is enough. From the shapes cast by the green paper lantern, you would never know that there were two boys sitting closely to one another trying to find themselves. You'd only see shadows, hugging, indiscriminate. This made me really feel a lot of things too, because of the discrimination that comes with people being gay and the stigma that comes with guys showing affection towards one another. You know, it's not uncommon, you know, for girls to hug and whatever as friends, you know, and there's sort of this stigma on guys showing affection towards one another. You know, they're automatically labeled as gay, whatever, and there's nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing wrong with showing affection if you're not gay, or if you are, just show love, man. There shouldn't be the stigma, and that kind of plays into that. Even though it's at this point that Aaron realizes that he is gay and he thinks Thomas is, while Thomas isn't, they are still able to share that friendship without it being love. There are two guys that are able to show affection without being in love with one another, without being a couple. They are just two friends that show their affection from each other, and I feel like that needs to happen more. I really love the affection that Aaron has for Thomas, and this is one you need a little bit of context for. This is after Brendan punches Thomas. Thomas is obviously hurt, and the quote is from page 144. He rubs his face and his eyes squint. A tear escapes. You didn't have to take my side stretch. I kind of, sort of, definitely always will. And I was like, I love that dedication that he feels for Thomas, and how close they were able to become in just a short amount of time. That's just amazing to me, and I just love their friendship. Now this one is the tagline for this book. It's from page 157, and it says happiness shouldn't be this hard. And I know that that's something that we can all identify with. We've all had our own struggles, no matter how big or small. We've all been through stuff, you know. Life isn't just a ride that's fun the entire time. It sucks sometimes, and sometimes we feel like it's impossible for us to get happy, and that's kind of like shows our feelings. That happiness shouldn't be this hard. We should be able to be happy without it taking all this work. And this is when he's telling his mom that he's gay before he finds out about the Lateo procedure, you know, the first time. This is from page 158 and footnote 159. "You're not wrong, my son." She gives me a side hug, resting her head on my shoulder. "I don't know what you were expecting would happen, that I would hit you with a belt, maybe rub some cleansing oil on you. I wish you could." I cried because there's nothing like my mom telling me I'm okay the way I am to really scare me about living with this heartache forever. And that merely made my heart happy and sad at the same time. It made me really happy that his mom was so accepting of the way that of him being gay and being who he was no matter what, that she was going to love him unconditionally. And that just made my heart happy, but it made me sad because he was expecting her to react differently. That his mother was going to hate him for being who he was, and that he's so terrified of this heartbreak from Thomas that he just wants to start over. This is also from page 159, and it's also the point where I started crying for the first time, like really started crying for the first time. This is again Thomas talking to his mother. "What are you asking of me?" And he says, "To make me right." And I started crying because no person should have to feel that loving someone of their same gender makes them not right. If you are someone, no matter who you love, like if you love the same sex, the opposite sex, whatever, no matter who you love, you're perfect, and there's nothing wrong with you because of that. If you get anything out of this right now, from this book, from anything, if you are gay, if you are bi, if you are whatever you may be, you are okay, you are fine, and there's nothing wrong with you. It just breaks my heart to think that someone could think that there's something wrong with them just because of who they love. Love is love, man. And this is from page 214. It's Aaron talking to Evangeline about procedures, and she says to him, "This procedure cannot be faulted for the heart remembering what the mind forgot." And that just kind of like touched me a little bit, because his heart is going to love guys. Like, no procedure can change who he is. And that kind of attributes to also people thinking that they can go to send their kids to reform camps to change who they love. You can't help who you love. That's who you are, and you should not. Oh, about to get off on a tangent again. Let me not, but I just really like that quote. So that was my spoiler-free book review / quotes preach session on More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. I would totally recommend this book to you. This is one of my first books that includes diversity, and it was amazing. I would definitely recommend this book to all of you. If you haven't read it, pick it up right now, please. That's it for this video, guys. Until the next video. Bye!